6 weeks before the start of the term. A figure stands at the edge of what looks like a clearing in the middle of the woods. She wears a backpack on her torso and has a satchel draped over one shoulder. She holds out her hand, resting it against the magical barrier that she knows is there. The wards shimmer briefly for just a moment, recognizing her magical signature. However, the wards are not keyed to her, and they do not completely dissipate. Instead, the protective energies settle over her form, almost like an uncomfortable sweater. It is a little unsettling, but the woman does not let this bother her. She strides forward, and the hidden campus of Arcadia Academy unfolds before her eyes. She is halfway towards her destination before she is intercepted, and by the very person she came to see. Exactly as she planned. "Mariana, what are you doing here?" The voice belongs to the school's current headmistress, otherwise known as her aunt. Mariana holds her hand up, her voice unwavering as she responds,
"I want to attend this upcoming term."
"And I would like to know what inspired this change of heart, niece. The last time we spoke, you vowed you would never set foot here again. And yet, here you are." Mariana shrugs.
The children of noble families are always extended an invitation, regardless of whether or not they have displayed magical aptitude. In my case, you already know that.
With that, she uncurls the fingers in one hand, and her hand begins to glow, emitting light that immediately fades when she closes her fingers back into a fist. Emma Valentine's lips form a tight line of displeasure. "We never turn away students who show aptitude," she finally responds. "But heed my warning, Mariana. I know that you are not here of your own volition. Should you act in such a manner as to put your fellow students in any sort of danger, I will treat you the same as I will any student who breaks the rules here." Mariana's response is immediate, challenging, almost mocking.
"You'll expel me?"
Instead of rising to the bait, Emma Valentine simply responds quietly, "I will sever you from the very magic that gives you the potential to become a magician. And I will wrap you so tightly in memory wards that you will never come back into this world." Mariana does not respond to the threat, and Emma takes it as a silent agreement. The headmistress turns to walk away, briefly stopping and turning to give Mariana one last warning. "Do not test me, niece." Welcome to Arcadia Academy, the elite school for magicians. Here, we teach our students to prepare for battle like Athena, but fight like Ares. All of our students have the opportunity to learn battle magic should they choose. But remember, great magic requires sacrifice. Hi guys, and welcome to Arcadia Academy. I'm Kelly, your DM for this campaign. Joining me today are Betty, who plays Cassandra.
Hello.
Cecil, who plays John Baptiste.
Good evening.
Caleb, who plays James.
Hello, hello.
Logan, who plays Demetrius.
Hey, everyone.
Nick, who plays Alex.
What's up?
And occasionally, we'll be graced by Rosie, our resident Catdragon. So guys, where are my notes?
Great start.
Okay, so guys, when we last left off, you guys met a visiting master magician, the Great Earth Elemental Monk Asher Carillion, who joined Professor Walker during your physical fitness class. You all learned a possibly valuable lesson in setting defensive battle magic wards prior to the class during a game of dodgeball against some of the older students. Then you guys moved on to another battle magic class and another set of shenanigans. This time, Professor Romanov utilized a magically enhanced Polaroid camera to create selfie voodoos that prevented you from accessing your cantrips and spell slots allowed by your class features, forcing you to rely on only your battle magic spells, discipline abilities, and weapons, while facing a Russian nesting doll-inspired training clay golem. When you successfully completed the scenario, he rewarded each of you with a magical item. And you guys have those items. Your collective jubilant mood was then ruined when the entire student body was summoned to the I wrote down arboretum, auditorium, where you learn that another student has been attacked and another student has disappeared. And shortly before this announcement, Alex realized that he had not seen his girlfriend Alyssa in a couple days. So, guys, we're continuing just about immediately right afterwards. How's everybody feeling? Well, I guess more like, how's Alex feeling, since the rest of you may or may not be aware of what's transpired. Most of you probably should know.
Alex is in complete shock at that very moment. He starts trying to put together the going back, trying to see if he maybe had spotted her in the past few days.
So, Alex, in your state of shock, well, go ahead and roll me like a history check to see if you can recall.
Got it. Not my strong. 5. Yeah, no.
Oh.
So you're feeling like super frazzled, and because of that, all you can think about is kind of like that blur of Headmistress Valentine's kind of announcement. All you can think is like her voice echoing in your head. So you're having a hard time focusing. You guys are eventually ushered back to the dormitories after Headmistress Valentine's announcement, like saying that older students are going to be patrolling and whatnot. And you guys get back to your dormitories. And you guys find notes on all of your doors, magically adhered, like always.
What does the note say? I'm just going to rip
Yeah.
it down.
Okay, so I actually did not write this down, so bear with me. The note basically says that all of you, like collectively, first year students, you are to report to the edge of campus for an overnight excursion for your introduction to alchemy class, and to pack some light supplies because you'll be spending the night in the forest.
Is this really the best time to be on the edge of campus in a sketchy forest?
Alex,
Mm-hmm.
with your passive perception, you notice something that you didn't pay attention to the first time you guys received a note like this. And it's that there's kind of a big gap on the paper. So, like, you know how, like, when you write a really short note on a big piece of paper, there's like this big blank space underneath?
Yeah.
So you see a suspiciously big blank space underneath the note.
Right. Hold up. I need to. I would like to cast Detect Magic on the piece of paper.
Okay.
For whatever reason, my spell list was not prepared. But I would like to cast Detect Magic on the piece of paper, try and figure out if it has, say, any magic protecting any other, like, wording.
Okay. So,
Do you tell us about this suspicion?
God fucking hell. 1 second. I need to read up on the schools of magic now.
Not yet. If I
Okay.
find something, then maybe.
Okay. Cassandra could potentially.
I want to say
Also
that
do
this
something
isn't
different.
really like a school of magic thing. Like, I'm trying to like, it probably does fall under a school, but like, I'm gonna save you a spell slot, Alex. When you try to cast your detect magic on it, right? Like you're focusing your magic over it, maybe. Like I imagine maybe Alex is outstretching his hand or just focusing really intently on this.
Yeah.
You're not quite like casting detect magic on it as much as you're reaching out with like kind of like your magic, your own magic reaching out and forming almost like a screen. And you see one word and it's greenhouses. And you infer that that's where you guys are meeting. Like like by the greenhouses at the edge of campus, because the edge of campus is like big. There's multiple edges of campus.
Hey guys.
So you make out the word greenhouses.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
you can have that spell slot back if you used it.
Thank you. I was looking back over the paper and I noticed this very big gap.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to reach out with my magic and it revealed the word greenhouses. I believe that is where we are supposed to be meeting.
Is that word on all of ours? Could you try it on mine?
I
Well,
attempt.
Cassandra, do you want to reach out, kind of like what Alex said, and try to read your own paper?
If it's something that I can do, then yeah.
Yeah, so like reaching out with your magic is something that all of you can kind of do. Like it's not going to work in every circumstance, but for something like this, think of it as like, like those invisible ink pens that can only be activated by like a special black light.
Yeah.
Your
Sure.
magic is kind of like that special black light in the specific circumstance.
Okay.
So if you try to reach out after what Alex says with your own magic to kind of do that, you would be able to see that word greenhouses as well.
Okay. The same word. All right.
So do you guys like
Well.
tell the rest of your first years, or do you leave some of them to wander the campus?
No. Tell people.
Yeah, Alex would go around and tell people.
Okay.
Don't
So
tell
it's
Vera.
like late afternoon by the time you guys returned and found the notes on your doors, and it's a couple hours until you guys are scheduled to report to the greenhouses. So you guys have like a couple hours to pack whatever you'll need. Allegedly an overnight
It's
excursion.
one overnight trip?
Yes.
Only one overnight trip? Okay.
Yeah. And Alex,
Intriguing.
you kind of hear students mutter, like they all thank you as you guys share that information. But as you're walking around, you hear students muttering, like, I don't have like a sleeping bag. Like, who does this? Like, what, why? And you hear like general panicking over like not having supplies. And you remember that you have something that might be able to help.
I go back to my dorm and I go to my desk where I have that giant book.
The magical IKEA furniture catalog.
Yes, that book. That book in particular. And then I take it out to the common room.
Do you guys like it?
It's actually an IKEA catalog.
Hey guys.
Well, I mean, I stole the thing. It was David's idea. You're just kind of yelling it into the hallway.
Yeah, just trying to get everyone's attention.
Roll me like a voice check. No, I'm kidding.
If you need supplies, this book will take it directly from your stipend and teleport it to your room.
And as soon as people like kind of hear like their heads kind of like turn, perk up, Alex, you get like mobbed as they take the catalog off your hands, and they kind of like yell like thanks as they like rush off and like kind of fight each other over who gets to like order shit.
Alex backs away. As soon as like the
But
mob
is-
starts swarming him, he immediately gets out.
Okay. I'm gonna say you're able to do that with minimal additional trauma. You guys all pack and you guys eventually make your way to the greenhouses? Or do you guys have anything else in between?
No.
Not particularly.
Wait, do we know where... What's her name? Alex's girlfriend.
Alyssa?
Alyssa. Sorry, it was like a name. Where... Do we know which room was her?
I would like to
No.
go down to the
Well,
third year floor
okay.
and kind of start asking around to see, because if I remember correctly,
I'm gonna say Alex probably would know, but the rest of you would have no reason to know.
Okay.
if anyone's still in like the common room when Alex goes down.
Well, I guess like I'm concerned for Alyssa because of Alex, so I would ask him like, "Hey, do you want to go knock on her door and just?"
Alex,
See
you
if
don't
she's
see
there?
anybody in the common area. You would infer that they're all in their rooms or elsewhere, but their common room is empty on the third year floor as you guys are headed down.
Who's coming with Alex?
So you're
Yeah, so
like,
Cassandra
you're
went
not
with you.
leaving the dormitories yet. You're just making like a quick stop downstairs to see if Alyssa's in her room and then hopping back up to grab your stuff and leave? Or are you on your way down, you're stopping?
It would be kind of in that time in between.
Okay.
If we have if we have an hour, Alex
You guys
would,
have
but
about a couple hours.
then
2
yeah,
to 3 hours. Okay,
Yeah.
so Alex and whoever else goes with Alex, as you knock on Alyssa's door, it's silent. There's no response. And you also don't notice anybody kind of like lurking in the corridors. There's like the doors are closed.
Are there any so there are no like third years?
So there's nobody that you see who's like walking around. You see a couple older students that you don't recognize patrolling, but you haven't met these students.
Is the door locked?
Yes.
Um,
I imagine most people would be locking their doors if they're not in their rooms.
Yeah, no, just making sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I imagine. There's probably a couple people who don't give a shit, but Alyssa's door is locked.
I turned to Alex. I could get it open if we needed to. It's just an option.
I don't think breaking in is necessary.
I mean, I wouldn't break anything. The door would just swing open. It would just be entering.
It's a victimless crime. Nobody gets hurt.
Oh no, I think I hear somebody in the room.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
use message and just message into the room, like, hello, is anyone in there?
Is that how message works? You don't have to have a specific target?
Well, yeah, I will message to Alyssa if she's in there. I guess I'll think of her. Do I have to? Let's see. How does this work?
Yeah.
Toward a creature within range. Okay, yeah, so I will point it at the general door and think of Alyssa. I'm assuming it doesn't work if she's not there.
I would also, it's a visual component. Is within range sight?
No, that's
No.
not visual. That's verbal.
Oh, verbal, my bad. Okay.
Verbal, schematic, and material.
Yeah, that.
Mhm.
Okay, well, it doesn't work because you infer, Cassandra, that she's not there, which is why nothing happens.
Okay. Well,
So it's almost like you feel magic kind of leave you as you're
Mhm.
whispering your message, but then it like goes nowhere.
so it doesn't seem like she's in there. I don't know if anyone else is in there, but if you want to try opening the door, you can try. We knocked. We announced our presence.
Yeah, and as this is going on, Demetrius,
If you break
you
it, I
would
can fix it.
know that ever since your last shenanigans in the infirmary, that there have been like mental wards that have been placed around the sectioned off area, and there's like this almost impassable barrier that you can't pass through. You can't hear anything, and you can't really see anything.
You have a spell, you said.
Yep.
Now this would be a really good time if I had higher level spells.
What do you have? Are you going to break the door?
So no, the door, it will just become unlocked. Well,
Do you have knock?
I can cast knock. Yes,
Oh, nice.
it's a Nithin thing.
Oh, nice.
It's super nice.
If you could just, I don't know how to feel about this.
So as you guys are contemplating this, you guys hear a voice calling from down the
Oh,
hallway.
When you
Just
cast,
what do you think you're doing?
Yeah. Also, when you cast the spell, a loud knock audible from far away as 300 feet emanates from target object. So it would be very loud. There's that too.
Yeah.
Who's the
I didn't-
figure?
Yeah, who's the person?
So before you guys can do anything, as you guys are like discussing this, kind of contemplating, whispering amongst yourselves, I imagine you're whispering amongst yourselves.
Right.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
You guys turn and see Renee, the fourth year student who you've seen patrolling around before. And she's kind of standing at the like far end. She's not like walking down the hallway, but she's standing at the end of it and she's looking down at you guys.
Looking for my girlfriend?
And from the way that you're all standing about, I would infer that she's not present. From what I do recall, I believe that first year students have an assignment they're going to set off on soon. I would suggest you spend your time preparing for that.
Yeah.
Alex just wanted to say goodbye and said that he wasn't going to see her for a day.
I'm sure he can leave her a note,
Okay.
as if she's not responding or answering the call, then she's probably not here.
Or dead.
So there's something about the way she says it that kind of books like no room for like you guys to like counter. Kind of like when a grown-up's speaking to a child and like there's no arguing back.
Yeah, that damn, you just kind of beat anything I could say.
Yeah. She's basically shooing you guys out without actually shooing you guys out. And you guys would gather from the few times you've seen her that she's a very well-respected student in the school. It's hinted that she's pretty powerful, but you guys haven't actually seen her in action.
You can take her.
Well, there's 3 of us.
You guys want to fight her?
Just saying that if it came down to it.
There's other people patrolling the halls. We can't fight her.
Yeah, we can't fight our way out of this.
You guys are thinking of. Oh my god. Okay.
I'm saying we shouldn't.
Uh-huh.
You better roll stats for all the things because we're just gonna end up fighting somebody.
Well, listen, I spent part of the afternoon rolling up stats, so definitely got stats prepared if you guys really want to fight.
No.
This is a
No,
4th year
no.
students that I have built stats into.
No,
Take that as you will.
no,
We're not
it's
gonna
not
We
a
learned
good
our lesson.
idea.
We're not going to fight anybody right now.
No.
Yeah.
Right now, that is the
Okay.
yes.
Right now.
We're not going to
So
fight.
are
anybody.
you guys
Maybe
like
Maybe later?
leaving possibly to like get your stuff ready to like go to the greenhouses?
Yes.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
You should write a note just in case and slip it under her door. Why not?
Alex will do that.
Aw. It's like, dear Alyssa, I miss you so much. Please text me ASAP. XOXO.
No, not that easy.
No,
I'm gonna whisper to Alex. Do you want? I can teleport in there. It won't be very loud. Would you like me to? Or I can attempt to. I don't know if they'll let me.
I don't know how your abilities work.
You've never been in her room.
Misty Step. I don't have to.
Oh,
Misty Step's just
you're
Misty
looking-
Step. I just teleport on the other side of the door.
Yeah?
Do you want to?
But it's an unoccupied space that you can see. Can you see that it's empty on the opposite side of the door?
that is true.
Oh.
What if you
that's
Misty step like
annoying.
into her bed?
That's fine.
Like into her bed. Like half of you's like bye-bye.
I don't think it works that way. I do have to see it. I guess if I go downstairs and look through her window, that means it's too far.
That's getting really
Okay.
convoluted.
There's like no way. Can I like look through the peephole?
The peephole doesn't work in reverse like that.
I know.
It's
Uh,
I'm
So
pretty sure
Alex
it's
is
not
gonna leave a
there.
note for Alyssa.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the rest of you eventually kind of all meet up with your fellow first years and you guys all make your way to the greenhouses?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys all make your way to the greenhouses. Hopefully you guys have supplies and stuff. Otherwise you're sleeping in the grass. I'm going to say that you guys have noticed that the campus does seem a little temperature controlled. So you imagine there's something built into the protective wards to keep it a little warmer than it normally would be. So like you'll still experience the seasons. Like if it's fall, it's going to be cool. Winter, it's going to be cold. But it's not going to be like, you're not going to like die of hypothermia. But it's still going to be cold. Like you'll still experience the seasons, just probably on a milder scale. Not sure if that's going to become relevant, but you know, you guys are in upstate New York and seasons are harsh. So that should be something to keep in mind.
About what time of year is it?
So I actually know this because I actually went through yesterday and I had to like double check my time. So this is about fall. It's now approximately 5 weeks into the term. It's like mid-fall.
Pretty fall colors.
So it's cool.
Woo.
Yeah.
The trees all pretty.
Like
Not
it's gonna
yet
be
a
cool. You're
problem for
definitely
Alex.
gonna maybe like start wearing sweaters ish, depending on where you're from. John Baptiste might feel a little colder than the rest of them, being from like humid New Orleans and whatnot. It's not like freezing. You probably won't need a thick winter jacket just yet, but you'll definitely want to grab things to bundle up with. Anyways, so I'm assuming you guys are appropriately dressed for the season, the time of year. You guys have things, supplies, camping gear, whatever you need. You guys go to the greenhouses where you do see Professor Cresswell standing with a group of students, some of whom you've seen, some of whom you haven't. You recognize 2 of them, Callan, the 5th-year student, and Renee. There are 2 more students that you haven't met yet. The first is standing, kind of leaning against the greenhouse and smoking a cigarette. He looks rather aloof. He's got long white hair tied into a ponytail, pale blue-green eyes, and pale skin. He's wearing a tank top and a casual blue jacket, black pants, and steel-toed boots. There are no weapons to be seen on his person, and he's carrying like an overnight camping bag. And the other one is wearing very bohemian kind of clothing. She's got long inky hair tied into a braid that trails down her back, hazel eyes, and light tan skin. She wears a white tunic dress with a floral pattern, billowy sleeves and cutouts at her thighs, and brown leggings that tuck into combat boots, and a white embroidered cloak over everything. She has a hunting knife strapped to her thigh and a crossbody satchel that appears filled to the brim with various ingredients. And she, like the rest of the older students, is also carrying like a traveling overnight bag. And so Andrea Cresswell sees all of you approaching and she says, "Howdy, y'all. You ready for some camping? Ready for some hands-on learning?"
I'm always ready for that, Shay.
All right.
I'm
So,
gonna try so hard not to make a joke about that.
I mean, you totally can. We did say rated PG-13 for sexual innuendos and stuff. Well, maybe
okay.
not that exactly. But so after she makes sure that all of you guys are present, like all 24, 25-ish of you, I don't know, has anyone quit yet? Maybe not.
Not that we're aware of.
She kind of
None of us have disappeared yet.
Yet.
That seems to be
Yes.
more worrisome.
I mean, Cassandra almost disappeared.
Yep, thanks, Callie.
Welcome. I mean, technically it wasn't me, but it was
what
also
does
me.
that mean?
It means that I,
Lies.
Kelly, would never voluntarily make my best friend disappear.
Lies.
But after Professor Cresswell makes sure that all of you guys are present, she leads the way into the forest. You guys walk for about an hour. You guys are not headed to Olympia Village. You guys are just headed deeper into the forest. And eventually, she stops at a clearing. And you guys can place yourselves on the map wherever. And she explains that this is where you guys are going to basically set up camp. And you guys are going to break off into groups, and you guys are going to identify and gather a list of ingredients that she gives you guys. So she says break off into a minimum of pairs as big as no more than 6 per group, but no less than 2. And so students begin breaking off. You see Mariana reach out to grab Garrett by the collar as they grab a list and they head off in one direction. So they'll head off that away. But like everyone's like leaving their stuff like here, wherever in that clearing. We'll say that's where you guys are making camp.
Yeah. Alex would go get a list.
Okay.
How many people in a group?
No more than 6, no fewer than 2.
Yes. So anywhere between
Okay.
2 and 5.
Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of us. Great. Let's go.
I wonder how, I wonder why the DM said 2 to 5.
Yeah. There's exactly enough of us.
All right.
Convenient.
Well,
Let's go.
luckily for us, because of my background being of a naturalist, we are technically in a forest, I have favored the terrain as my forest because I get that as a naturalist background.
I thought I had a list of herbs and it turns out I do not, so I'm Googling right now. Thank you, Google.
Oh, Kelly,
Yes.
have we taken a long rest since the magic class, the battle magic class that we had?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, you guys haven't.
We haven't? Oh my god. All right, fine.
We haven't.
We will
'Cause-
pretend that you guys did. Let's do that. We'll say that you guys were instructed to meet like first thing in the morning by the greenhouses. So you guys,
Okay.
it's bright and early. We'll do that.
Okay.
Because you guys all need a long rest, like kind of desperately.
Yeah, I was looking at my hit points and like, wow, this is low. Oh, I'm down a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Uh-huh. Good call. I mean, I'm not gonna like kill you guys.
That's true, because
Well-
you weren't allowed to use spells, so I had all my spell slots.
Yeah.
Just,
Oh, yeah.
The
Maybe
hit
I
die
could.
situation was
I mean,
No.
well, I mean, I already
that's
said
just-
that because this is Betty's birth week. I'm not.
Woo.
Well, I mean, I didn't make that promise to all of you guys, though. To be fair, I just said Betty is unlikely to die.
so she'll
At
kill
least
everyone
The
but
first
Betty.
part of this session. It's a TPK minus the total.
minus the person whose birthday is soon. Woo, I love it.
Well, TPK minus the T, so it's just a PK. No, don't think it works like that. Okay, so thank you, Google, for this list.
We,
Betty, are you injured?
Me?
Yeah.
Right now, no.
Okay.
No, because we all got a long rest, so
Okay.
not injured.
Did someone hop off?
Thank you though.
I did because I don't think anyone
Oh.
was hearing me.
Okay, great. I'm glad because I was like, no, Craig, don't you dare.
No,
Okay,
Craig
so
was
here's
still
your
on.
list.
Yeah, Craig's been on.
We're gonna pretend that these are all possible to be found because I'm not about to Google like what's actually possible, what you could actually find this time of year. So here's a list. So let me see, 2, 4, 5. So there are 10, 11. We'll just say 10. Fuck it. Everybody, roll me
Interesting.
2 nature checks. See how good you guys are at finding these things. You guys can just roll 2, whatever.
There is a thing I do want to cast on someone before we make this roll,
Okay.
and I'm gonna do so on Cassandra. Would
Ooh.
like to cast Enhance Ability,
Okay.
and I
Ooh.
would like to do let's see, it will be the one that gives advantage on intelligence checks, so Fox's Cunning. So a small little green fox appears in Alex's hand. As he puts his hand on your shoulder, it kind of just hops off, and you now have advantage on all intelligence checks.
Woo. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So
rolled
with
a
that being
19.
said, go ahead, all of you.
I rolled a 19 because I'm really good at finding Easter eggs.
Well,
So-
Betty, 18 and 18. Did
I
you
know,
roll 2
right?
of them? 2 nature
Nope,
checks?
that's second one, 22.
Okay, so 18 and 22.
And-
can you guide yourself? Nick?
You
No.
can. Yep, you just
Yes, you
have
can.
you have to do it before so.
James will guide himself on 1, right? I'm gonna guide myself on 1.
Yeah.
I don't think we're rolling with advantage. I think we're making 2 skill checks. So I think you should.
Yeah, you're making 2 checks. Like, everybody's giving me 2 checks. I mean, I guess I could have
Yeah,
just done a group check, but
Well,
we'll say
she
10
won't-
herbs, everybody's rolling. We'll have 10
Mhm.
rolls.
Mm-hmm. And
and
I'm not going to
then-
guide myself because I already have advantage.
Oh, yeah. So I need rolls from Alex as well. So Demetrius
11
rolled a
and
19 and
21.
2. Okay.
Cassandra is going to ritual cast floating disc so that we can just put all the ingredients on a disc behind her and it just is floating off the
Aw.
ground.
Aren't you fancy?
Okay.
Because why not? Because it's fun.
Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So you guys are able to easily find 3/4 of your list. You guys struggle with like the last 3. Alex may have heard of them, but he's a little distracted right now, so you can't really focus on what they like look like exactly. So you guys have to kind of search a little harder before you find them. And once you guys gathered them, Professor Cresswell kind of takes like not a briefcase. She's not setting up like your alchemy lab in the middle of the forest, but she sets up like a little she gets like a big flat slab of stone that the older students help her perch and balance, and then she sets up some of her ingredients on it, and she herself has like one of each ingredient that you guys collected, and she takes each one and explains what they do and what the benefits are and how they are good for both. They're both edible, but they're also useful for potions making. So like chamomile has really good calming properties. It's good for helping you sleep and encourages rest, and it also makes a really good tea. And you can also grind it up and mix it with some moss or whatever, and like make a good paste out of it if you need to. So you guys spend a really what feels like a very peaceful afternoon preparing ingredients in a variety of ways. She also uses some of these ingredients to like cook up some delicious lunch that she makes a generous portion of, and everybody has some. And you guys prepare the majority of these ingredients to dry, and they are collected and bundled up according to which herb they are. And Jasmine, one of the older students, collects everything and bundles it up appropriately and kind of holds on to it for Professor Cresswell. Before you know it, the afternoon passes. It's falling into darkness. It's nightfall. You guys will not have to do watches because the older students are basically here for your protection. So the older students are going to be taking turns doing watches overnight. So you guys, at this point in time, have kind of retired for the evening. You guys are left to your own devices. So what's going on?
Who brought marshmallows?
I think Demetrius brought marshmallows. He's probably like hiding them in the bottom of his bag, trying to like not dig into his marshmallow supply, hoping that somebody else will offer theirs up first.
Yeah, that's probably right. Do I have marshmallows?
If you wanted marshmallows, then you would have brought marshmallows.
Oh yeah.
Is that like your ration supply, or did you actually bring food? Legitimate question. Like you could have brought both.
That may be my rations.
No.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So aside from whatever Professor Cresswell fed you guys, she probably fed you guys like a vegetable soup or something. You guys would have received like a quick lesson in foraging too. She would have shown you like, here are edible mushrooms, here's fruits, and you can scrape the bark off of that tree that's also edible, whatever. But okay, so Demetrius is munching on marshmallows for dinner.
So he
Or
is there a fire?
evening snack. Yeah, you guys
Okay.
have built a fire.
So he's gonna go into kind of the edge of the woods, grab a couple sticks, pull them out,
Okay.
sharpen the ends a little bit, stick a marshmallow on there, and go to town.
Did you also bring like graham crackers and chocolate bars?
Do I have to do everything?
I'm asking, like, you know, if you were gonna bring marshmallows, did you bring all the ingredients to make s'mores for yourself? Like, what's going on?
No, I was hoping other
Okay, you
people
just
would
brought
do this.
marshmallows.
Alex would have brought the graham crackers, as well as he would have started to pull out what was necessary for some tea.
Okay. And you know, you guys also would have easily gathered ingredients to make tea. But if Alex brought his own, that's fine too. So you guys, what are the rest of you guys doing?
John Baptiste has set up his double sleeping bag nearby and has rummaged out a flask of rum, and he's just observing the shenanigans around the fire.
Okay.
Just imagine this sight. You have Demetrius roasting marshmallows as Alex is sitting there trying to make tea. I'm pretty sure Demetrius is also being interruptive at the same time.
Yeah. And as you guys are relaxing, you guys notice the older students kind of like spreading out, kind of forming almost a perimeter. And it looks like they're maybe taking turns or something to patrol the area. But I mean, they seem pretty relaxed. They don't seem super nervous. Renee and Callan look very calm. But you've also known from personal experience that that seems to be kind of their temperament. They don't seem the type to get very like emotional or super anxious. They appear very calm, at least outwardly.
Demetrius offers anybody who wants a marshmallow.
And Alex would be going around to anyone who wanted some hot water for tea.
And graham crackers if you wanted a s'more minus chocolate.
Hey, someone else could have brought the chocolate.
Did anybody bring chocolate?
I feel like Cassandra just always has chocolate. She seems like a chocolate kind of girl.
Okay. So Cassandra, for some reason, was like, hey, we're going to go camping. I'm just going to bring like 3 giant chocolate bars with me. Let's do this. So you guys somehow...
They're like nice
between all
chocolate
of
too.
you- Well, is Cassandra going to share that chocolate?
Yes. She
So then
will,
somehow between
because
all
she
of you, you
wants
guys are
s'mores.
making s'mores in the middle of the forest on
Why
your
not?
first overnight excursion.
I feel like the end of Mighty Ducks 2 where they're around the campfire singing the song, the Queen. I don't know if you guys know that, but I paid my dues.
So, we've been close to each other for a while now, but we don't really know each other well.
Would you like to start? Would you like to share? Sharers, go first.
Fine. So, I don't know how to start this. What do you all want to know?
Anything, I guess. Whatever you want to share.
So,
Deepest and darkest secret. I'm just kidding. You don't have to share that.
So Alex is deciding that now is the time that he wants to get to know his fellow first years.
yes.
Is this what you're thinking in the middle of like being distracted by thinking about what happened to Alyssa?
He's trying to, yes. He's already been like a nervous wreck these past few days.
So it's like he's trying to do this to distract himself.
Yes. Yes, this is him trying to distract himself, maybe give himself a clearer mind so he can think on it properly and try to figure out the next steps.
Okay.
So, what did you all do before coming to Arcadia? I'm pretty sure we haven't discussed like anything outside of the school with each other.
Yeah, aside from like your orientation stuff, you guys haven't really like dug deep. You guys might have been like, yeah, I'm from Minnesota or I'm from upstate New York, but that's probably the most you guys have shared in your personal lives.
I mean, I used to work at a greenhouse and I was gaming with my friends a lot before coming here. My life isn't really that interesting, besides the fact now that I can do magical things. So, what about you, Demetrius? Just select a random person. Let's go. What was your life like before coming to Arcadia?
Oh, you know, butlers, maids, tutors,
Oh boy.
the normal stuff.
The normal stuff, he says. Oh,
I love it.
Those are normal for you?
Oh yeah, I forgot battle swans too.
battle swans?
Battle
I-
swans?
Were those swans that were like in armor that I couldn't even do anything with?
Yeah. Butch and
Got
Cassidy.
it.
Why do you have battle swans? What are battle swans?
Why battle swans?
Yeah. Well, I
I-
guess like the answer for why battle swans is probably why not. But
Exactly.
Fair.
what are battle swans? Swans that do battle?
They were
How?
they were a gift from Zeus to our family long time ago. Been there around.
Oh, okay. So
Interesting.
are you a descendant of Zeus?
Yeah. Thought that was obvious.
Can I do an insight check?
I would
Yeah.
also like to do an insight check.
Go ahead.
Also, how long does that enhanceability last? Oh, it's only an hour. Okay. Never mind.
And I still have advantage because I have advantage on all skill checks while it's in my favorite terrain.
So Alex, either it's legit or Demetrius is extremely delusional.
Well, seeing that I am one of Artemis's chosen, which I didn't know until coming to the school, I'm not going to put it completely past him.
Wait, so does that mean that you're a descendant of Artemis?
I don't know how this god stuff works.
I don't either. That's why I'm asking.
Alex, from what you know, from what you've read, you would have known that Artemis is typically depicted as like a virgin goddess. So you would be really, really confused probably by that question.
Yeah, but Mary was a
Probably
virgin
not.
too, so
Probably not going
Well, Alex
off of
also has no idea
lore.
what Artemis's chosen actually means at this point.
Yeah,
There's
no,
also
like,
that. Well, not he probably doesn't. He doesn't.
no one gave me that information.
Side note, would I know just out of pure like legend or something like that?
Mm.
I feel like you would probably not have focused on other gods as much as Zeus, because Zeus is like the best since he is your patron.
He is the best.
You might know a little more about Hera, but you can roll me a history check. History or religion check.
Let's go with religion. There you go.
So you aren't super sure. You know that there are different sects and different religions of gods and goddesses that have their own names, but you're not aware of the myriad of them, as again, Artemis is not your patron or your primary goddess.
Okay.
You feel like, from what you would imagine, Artemis is chosen should probably refer to her followers, but you're not sure if it's a major group that's devoted to Artemis or if it's one of the more minor ones.
So it's a cult.
You don't know. God damn it, guys. I'm going to be like,
Everything's a
yo,
cult.
Zeus is a cult too. You guys all belong in cults. You guys are all delusional. You guys are actually in like a psych ward in the hospital.
Magic's real.
So you're a little uncertain,
Okay, well,
but your best guess would be that this actually is a group that's devoted to the goddess Artemis.
okay. And then while I was concentrating, because it was very hard for me to concentrate and cook marshmallows at the same time, I burned my marshmallow, so I tried to get it out.
Nah.
All right, next person's turn.
Who wants to go next? Who can
Well-
top that here?
You're not gonna popcorn it, Logan or Demetrius? You know, like Alex is like, I choose you.
Oh, yeah. He really doesn't care. He's just in it for
I
the
don't care about
marshmallows.
any of you guys. I'm just gonna do my own thing, bitches. Not gonna tell you guys that I thought Aaron was a dude, totally was a chick.
Okay, I don't discriminate.
I don't.
You totally do.
You don't discriminate. You just put you just project onto other people
Yeah,
Yes,
that.
what you think is the norm, which apparently is a male.
Well,
Okay, and if you
and I'm a
guys have no
mentalist,
idea
so it
what
kinda
that
makes
is,
it
go
worse.
ahead and
But
listen
worse
to
than-
Demetrius's interlude in episode 7, and you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
That Andy thinks butlers and maids are also normal.
Okay, have
Apparently.
you guys like actually all had the chance to listen to the interlude or not yet?
I haven't listened to mine yet.
I'm
But you like
going
lived
down
through
the
yours.
list.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You lived through yours.
You lived through yours, so I mean, has anyone not?
I have not yet gotten through all.
Okay, that's okay. I'm sure it'll come up eventually, like in game, if you guys haven't.
Okay.
You know, just minor details that may or may not become important.
Well, Demetrius looks over at Jean-Baptiste and says, "Hey, spooky dude, what's up with you?"
Just enjoying some rum here, Chad. Did you want some?
Hell yeah.
Well, come sit a little closer then.
So JB, do you like drink socially, or do you carry that with you like everywhere, like even the library, even your
Yes, he carries that with him everywhere. It's in his satchel.
But like, are you constantly drinking from it?
No, he's not constantly drinking from it, but when the situation calls for it, it is on hand and available.
Gotcha. So like, JB looks for opportunities to socialize,
Of course.
and if it's there, he's ready for the occasion. Also, do you guys like finally see the name tags for everybody?
No.
No.
Just me.
I like really did this. I made sure I was not on the GM layer, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm gonna have David like help me out because I
You have
have
to make-
redone the name tags like 4 times, and I am super pissed.
You have to make sure that we have the permission to see all the other tokens, like the name tag. So each token has permissions, and you have to make sure that all players can see the name tag.
Where's the permissions? Oh, wait. Do you guys see
So then you
Andrea
have to
There we
Cresswell?
turn on the
go, yeah.
you have
There
to
we
turn on the
go.
permission.
Fucker!
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and then when
I
you
wish
turn
someone
on the
had told me
permission,
this sooner.
then you have to make sure that that version of the token is linked to the character sheet.
Wait, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yes,
It's
Yeah.
horrible.
it's really
It's
it sucks so
Well,
bad.
I wish someone had told me this like 2 weeks ago so that I could have done it properly instead of fucking it up again. You guys are gonna have to wait another 2 weeks. Oh well. Here's the story. You'll get used to the tokens eventually. God
just
damn it.
put names on the new people. Like who's this dude and that girl?
Those are Callan and Renee.
Oh, okay.
I will.
Can you give them their
I'll
names?
teach- yeah.
So basically, all of
you.
the tokens need names. Is what that example
Well, the
showed
thing
us.
is, all the
Yeah.
tokens have names.
Okay,
They
thank
All
just
you.
the
have
tokens
to be in there
have
with you.
names. They're just not properly configured.
Yeah, just the people that like aren't
There.
with us normally
God
and like
fucking
not the
damn it.
party, then like those would be very wonderful to have names on right now.
Okay, well, I think I set it up for
All the, his
everybody.
name is All the Garrets. That's great.
Yes. So you guys totally didn't get the joke before, and I didn't realize it was because you guys couldn't see the name tags. I named
Oh my
him All
gosh,
the
it's
Garrets
great.
because I used the same token for Garrett, and Nicholas.
And
So for funsies, hold on. Let me show you the Nicholas token.
Not Garrett.
his should be
No,
not
his
Garrett.
is not Garrett. It
Shame.
is Nicholas question mark.
Should be- okay, that's good too.
Anyways,
I approve.
So, anyways, John Baptiste passes across the flask.
Demetrius takes a swig.
so JB, are you like trying to deflect and not volunteer anything about yourself?
No. So John Baptiste, he answers, I don't think things have changed too much for me at all since coming here. I still serve the Baron, and that's what I do every day. He's got me here. If there's something more you want to know, we could find someplace private to talk.
I don't swing that way, but thanks for asking.
Your loss, yeah.
Is Cassandra trying to deflect attention away from herself?
Right now? Not really. She's just sitting there and eating a s'more and baking s'mores.
Oh no, because earlier
offering
you made the
chocolate.
statement like, "Hey, you go first," or something.
Oh,
So I was
yeah.
wondering if that was part of her defensive mechanism.
At that point, yes, but like
Oh,
right
gotcha.
now, she's not like trying to hide or anything. She's just
Gotcha.
like sitting there normally.
Okay.
JB will ping her mind and say, all right, it's your turn, Cher.
Thanks, Callie.
Well, Cassandra and JB are basically best friends at this point. I think they're you guys are probably the closest out of all the, But go on, it's your turn. I did not volunteer you, your friend did.
Fine. Okay.
Fine.
Cassandra will like quickly glance at him and like make a face, but very quickly. And then just say, well, it's really interesting because before this I was in a different college, in a normal college. Like a non-magic college, I should call it. And I was studying dress history and was just planning on working in a museum or something of the sort, become a curator. I don't know, I'm just a big nerd. I like history and reading in books and clothes. Yeah, and the history of clothes. What about... Who didn't go yet? What about James?
Well, I'm from Sacramento, California, and I was working with my dad to be a park ranger at one of the national parks.
Nice. What was that like?
It was awesome. It was good being outside in the being outside and work with him. You'd be surprised how much work there is to do out there. Lots of conservation efforts and making sure tourists don't get too rowdy because they like to come and mess things up. But it's pretty fun.
Nice. Being out in Montana, I've visited Yellowstone a lot. It was a common trip for us, and it was always nice going.
Yeah, we travel around to others as well, just to kind of help out where we can and such. Oh, and I live with my dad and sister.
Nice. And during that entire time, Alex is kind of like sitting up, taking in every word you're saying. So I'm also like reading chat as that's going on.
Sorry.
One eye there.
One eye there trying to think about what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Alex is like really intrigued in what you're saying and seems a bit more relaxed.
Okay, so you guys spend like a pretty pleasant evening getting to know each other.
And,
Are you trying
and-
to like invite discussion from the other first years as well, or keeping like yourselves in like a small cluster?
No,
We're gonna pretend that this area is like 3 times as big as what you actually see because there's like 25 of you.
Right.
There's like 30 of you, including the professor, and Okay, so
Here.
as you guys are like spending time and whatnot, you guys hear a yell coming from the woods in this direction, like fuck, 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 and you hear footsteps running, and it's Peter and Jasmine. Did I give you their names earlier?
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Okay, so
They were on the
and
handouts.
Peter is the one who's yelling as he's like, they're running back to camp like hellhounds are on their feet, like their tails. And they're running back to camp and their eyes are wide and they're like, shields up now. And Renee and Callan immediately like throw their hands out, and Kat, along with Andrea Cresswell, a defensive barrier over the entire encampment. And these two jump in just in time. And Renee unsheaths her swords, one in each hand, and Callan takes out his longsword as well. And they move up to join them. And Andrea Cresswell says, "What seems to be the matter?" And Jasmine says, I don't know. You can't see it. Professor, I think it's a centurion." "What? Honey, those are the school's defenses. They're not meant to harm us." "No, Professor, I think this one's gone rogue." And Peter says, "Yeah, like it's supposed to recognize our magical energies, right? Because we're key to the school." "Well, yes." And you see a perplexed expression on Andrea Cresswell's face as kind of like this understanding dawns upon her, and she says, "Well, I wonder." "Oh, bless your heart, child." And she turns over to the rest of you some of you guys are like, some of the students are muttering amongst themselves, like, "What's a centurion? What's going on?" And she says, "Well, it looks like situation's gone awry. We're gonna have to possibly try to contain one of the school centurions. Shouldn't be too difficult. We don't need to actually take it down. We just need to reset it. So I'm gonna need some assistance, possibly. But those of you who are not super comfortable, try to stay within these wards. We'll see what we can do." And she turns outwards, and you don't hear anything. There's like no sound other than the sound of the forest, like standard forest sounds, like the creaking and chirping of like crickets or whatever the fuck, the sounds like birds make and whatnot. But there's nothing unusual that you would think would hint at an intruder.
How do we reset it?
Also, what is a centurion?
So, to answer both your questions, she reaches into like between her bosom and takes out like a vintage gold key that's like attached to like a chain. So it's like a necklace. And it looks like an ordinary vintage golden key that you might find in like anywhere. And she says, "Well, for you, hon," and she gestures towards you, Alex, "the centurions are specialty crafted golems that are attuned to the school's wards, and they protect the school. They are inscribed with permanent runes of invisibility and silence so that they can attack without discrimination. Anyways, this is it's an override key. It allows us to temporarily disable any of the centurions. However, it's gonna take a team effort in order to do so. And according to the handout that you guys now see, it requires 2 successful checks in the following order. The first is a successful grapple. The second is a successful insertion of the key. And then once the Centurion's disabled, the headmistress can reset it and reactivate it. And all's good.
How do you catch
So,
something you can't see or hear?
Great question.
That's the question. I know
Um,
at least one of you guys here has something that could help.
I can cast.
Well, actually, two of you guys possibly.
Question is, do I have it prepared? And the question
Question
I
is
can
also,
cast
was I referring to you,
web.
Alex?
Oh, never mind.
Let me look up what I'm thinking.
If we can lord it over, I can cast web. It can potentially get trapped in it.
I can also
So
put
as
down
you
spike
guys,
growth, and that could also help us to slow it down.
Well,
so as you guys are discussing, you guys feel like an immense pressure, like slamming into the defensive barrier, like it just like, and then like you don't see anything. It's just literally like an invisible force slamming into the barrier.
Do we
Hmm.
know the direction of that force?
About right here, somewhere above your heads. And Jasmine turns around screaming, and she takes a step back next to Peter. Callan and Renee step up with their swords like they're ready to attack, except they don't see it, and they look kind of upwards, their eyebrows like kind of furrowed in thought.
Is there snow on the
And
ground?
Renee announces, apparently, this creature does not speak or think, so I can't trace it by its thoughts. Suggestions, Professor? Well,
It's fall. It doesn't snow in the fall.
I
Does
wasn't.
it crunch on the
it makes
leaves?
no sound. Professor Cresswell just explained that it's got like runes of invisibility and silence etched on it.
Okay.
this
You would infer that
really
it
Would it
like
be-
it prevents it from
close.
making any sound or leave any trace.
You know, wondering how
Hmm.
students go missing. If one of these went rogue and a student was out here not being able to see it or hear it coming, makes you really think you shouldn't really leave the campus.
Yeah, this-
Are you saying this out loud?
Yes.
Okay. So as you do so, like other students are kind of looking at you. They're murmuring a little bit, like, yeah, like, it was probably the Centurion that, like, maybe attacked some other students, but like, why? How do Centurions go rogue?
How do you know it's gone rogue?
Andrea Cresswell made a statement earlier saying it might have gone rogue.
Oh. But how do they know that
Okay.
they're being followed by one?
Besides
they know that the
fact it
Centurion-
loud-
Oh, well, I mean, other than a moment ago, but they ran away saying, hey, there's something coming after us. How did they know?
You would infer by the way that the professor and older students are responding that they're a little familiar, like they know what the Centurions are, they know what their abilities are and whatnot. So I guess you would infer that they figured out it was a Centurion based on the fact that it's making no sound and they can't see it.
Does it
Gotcha.
happen often?
It's not to say that it's absolutely a Centurion, but you guys right now don't really know what other creatures make no sound and are not visible to others.
Okay. So how about this? It seems like it is trying to attack the shields. Then the next time it tries to attack a shield, I'll cast web on it. It will be hopefully stuck there for a tiny bit of time as it tries to get free. A few seconds, and then maybe someone could attempt to cast light on it or some other marker spell, and try to get free.
See, now would be a really good time for me to have a different spell prepared than the spells I do.
I feel
Um,
like this is the eternal argument for characters that have to like prepare spells.
Yeah, this
would
would
be
be
a
a
great
great
time
time
for,
for
like,
Fairy
muttering
Fire,
up a
but like,
plan. You see Jasmine running over to Renee, like grabbing her by the arm, like, Renee, I'm so scared. I don't know what's going on. And Renee like kind of steps forward, like puts an arm on her shoulder and says, "It's fine. We'll figure it out. We always do." And Jasmine says, "Yeah, but I think I've got an idea."
As soon as we can see it.
James can cast
And then
Fairy
as they're
Fire.
talking, Jasmine grabs Renee's arm and shoves her through the barrier.
Ah!
She's like, "What the hell?"
Okay, well,
Okay. Did something happen?
that happened.
And she's like, What was that?" And Jasmine says, "Sorry, I'd rather it get you than me. I mean,
Well, I would
Oh,
like
yeah.
to make sure I am close enough
plot
to
twist.
where I can at least get off
What
the
the
prayer
heck?
of healing.
I like this chick.
Does the Centurion do anything? Because I have web at the ready.
Well, you can't see anything
Well, like it didn't attack her.
yet.
Okay, I still have web at the ready. Once something hits the shield or attacks Renee, then I'm going to throw web at it.
So Renee moves so that her back is like pressed against the defensive barrier, because once it's up, you can't pass unless you take it down. And she's got a sword in each hand and she holds it up in front of her, kind of crossed. And
We
she
should-
like moves into a defensive stance.
We should go out and help her. She can't. We can't just have her sit out there by herself. I'm gonna move my way forward.
And Callan looks at Jasmine and says, "Why would you do such a thing?" And Jasmine looks at you guys kind of haughty and she says, "Because I am tired of everybody overlooking my talents and my abilities. I am a great magician. Look at what I did." And she's gesturing up towards the sky at nothing that you guys can see.
A great magician should not throw someone off to the side for power.
What
Yeah.
did you do?
That doesn't make someone great.
I agree. And also, what did you do?
I got rid of my competition.
Well, then that just means that you sucked. Because if you feared that
No,
person,
I
yes,
defeated them with my own abilities.
that's not defeating them. That's tricking them. That's a completely different thing. You're an idiot.
Defeated how?
I'm still standing.
Yeah.
You is the professor doing anything?
Andrea Cresswell's had her eyes closed and she's been muttering under her breath for the past couple minutes. You're unsure if she heard
She
what
needs
was
to-
just said
Ugh,
aloud.
Okay. Who is your competition? Are you talking about Renee?
She's one of them. You see her walking around with her head up high, and she's always got this aura of superiority, like she's better than everybody else. Well, guess what? You're not. And with that, you see something slam, like an invisible force slamming into Renee's swords, pushing her back,
Okay.
like like sandwiching her between the force and the barrier.
Web.
Okay, so throw
That-
it. Is there a save for it?
So on its turn, I know we haven't rolled initiative yet. On its turn, it must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, so you're not in initiative yet, but let me roll a dexterity saving throw.
James will also try and cast Fairy Fire
Okay.
if he's
Drop
allowed
that in the
to.
chat for me, please, while I make a dexterity saving throw of some sort.
Let me see if I can.
We can walk through it from the. Oh, Renee was pushed out of it.
You guys can walk out of it, yes, of your own accord, but you can't travel back. But let me roll a dex.
I say we push Jasmine out.
I mean, I'm honestly okay with that.
Let's not.
Hold on. So a
Alex
dexterity.
considered it for a brief second.
Okay, what's the save?
Oh, sorry. Dex save is 13.
So it saves.
Ah, well.
So
It's not
it just
restrained.
like there's just like a web that flies out and misses.
Well, it just breaks through it.
Okay, so yeah, so you see Cassandra casting and like this spider web, like Spidey, Spider-Man, Spider Cassandra
Yeah.
shoots out of her hands and goes towards that mass, the invisible space in front of Renee, and you see like something being covered momentarily. And
Does it have webs on it now? Can we see it because there are webs on it?
how like thick are these webs? Because I'm thinking of like regular spider webs where if you like brush your finger
No,
against
this is
it
big time.
disappears.
Yeah.
Big time.
You
It's
conjure
like
a
a-
mass
You
of
guys
thick,
can make
sticky
perception
webbing.
checks at advantage.
Oh, definitely doing that.
Well,
But
okay.
hey,
I win this.
at least one of you guys has something that could help you with your sight.
Yeah,
James is doing that.
and the,
If
yeah, James
you'll,
did fairy fire.
Yes, if you'll give me another dexterity saving throw.
Well, one specific person's sight. It has to do with your discipline abilities.
You're not talking about me, are you?
No.
Okay, because I thought I couldn't do it, anything, but okay.
Yeah.
So by process of elimination, who have we eliminated?
I can try Eyes of the Grave, but I don't think it's.
I'm not talking about Eyes of the Grave.
Okay.
It's a discipline ability that one of you guys has. Hint, hint.
And I
Well,
still get
that leaves James.
No?
Actually, no, it does not just leave James.
Does Stitcher? No, Stitcher doesn't have anything like that.
No.
Yeah, I don't have
No.
anything either.
I do. I'll use
Oh,
Ethereal
that's-
Sight.
That's performance. Sorry.
Okay. Cool.
Let me do.
So, Jean-Baptiste, you use your ethereal sight and you cast See Invisibility.
Well, he can now see it. We can't.
Okay.
Well, if I
Hold
need
on.
a
Can I see it with the 15, or at least the spider webs outlining it?
You think you see like a speck of something a little high in the air, but you're unsure if that's your like imagination or if it's like kind of like the ashes from the fire. Like,
Okay.
do you know what I'm talking about? Like when you
Yeah.
make a big outdoor fire, there's like the embers and whatnot. Okay, hold on. So we need to do a dexterity saving throw.
roll it at disadvantage because I'll use power surge as well.
Yeah. Hold on.
Blowing everything I
Dexterity
have.
Nice.
at disadvantage. Okay, it fails. So let me
Cool.
see. It is outlined in light. If it's invisible,
Yes, even if
cannot
it's
it cannot benefit from being invisible. If you will read
Yeah.
the bottom, it'll be blue light.
okay, so you see like some outline of something. Jean-Baptiste, you would see that this is like a mechanical looking humanoid kind of figure. It's on the ground right now. You would infer that maybe it had jumped up and slammed into the barrier earlier, or it slammed against Renee, but like you don't see any footprints that it's leaving. You don't see any sign that there's a presence. But now all of you guys can see either an outline or in Jean-Baptiste's case, you guys can see the actual creature.
Okay.
And Renee, as soon as she sees the outline, does Renee see it?
Yes.
everyone
It
can
is-
see it.
Everyone should see
She
it.
like
Outline and it's shooting
reaches
light.
forward, slides
Image.
forward with her swords and like swings them in a cross. With that, you guys can roll
So-
initiative.
I'm sorry. Can I?
You can do something before we roll initiative.
I can.
Well, you can try.
Okay.
What are you trying to do?
I cast command. Tell it to stop.
It needs to understand you, I believe.
So the problem with this is this only hold on. What's the exact wording of this?
If it doesn't understand your language, then it has no effect.
It understands the languages of its creator.
That would be English.
Which would probably be common.
Would it?
English.
How many languages does a master magician speak?
I'm
Well-
pretty sure. Well, that's a you question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I would imagine
I'm
they
throwing
do-
it out there to you guys because I've said multiple times that master magicians are fluent in multiple languages, and
It just has to be in a language that it knows all the languages its creators know.
oh, is that what it is? Hold on.
It has to be able to communicate with its
True.
leader.
Okay, so all right, Logan may try to cast command on it. Let me see. Oh, wisdom. What's your save? Is it 12?
10? 10's on the bottom here, so I think it might be 10. Let me pull it back
It
up.
is.
We agreed that 10 was correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing happens.
Damn it.
I need to get you a ASI, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
a great magician. I'm sorry.
So as you guys watch, hold on, and let me see what attacks Renee's got real quick. Renee makes
The
Need
any attack rolls is at advantage.
Cool.
okay, so she would have missed both attacks, even with advantage, if that was given. Okay, so
And Jean-Baptiste wanted to cast Hex, apparently.
Yeah, as soon as I could see it, but that's fine. We should roll initiative so that there's some type of order to this madness.
Yeah. we just need the turn order
and
up.
as you guys are all distracted, Jasmine slips off, sort of. Well, she's not being super subtle about it, but she like just wanders off away.
Oh, because I was about to
What a
punch her in the
bitch.
face my turn.
Yeah, I want to make sure she doesn't get away.
that was
Honestly,
literally
I
my
was-
first move.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you guys all well, Cassandra does. She's got an attack of whatchamacallit, if you'd like. Opportunity.
Oh,
Attempt,
yes.
If you want to try to punch
Okay.
her.
Yes. Well, oh my god. What do I
Do you have
can't cast a
Warcaster?
spell at her. I can just punch her.
Do you have
I-
Warcaster?
Do another
I
webs.
don't know. I
don't?
tossed
Oh.
it
Shame.
because I thought like I would never be in like melee.
Yeah. Fair.
So
So go ahead and roll like a 1d20 plus
Strength.
strength
Can
modifier.
I'm probably not holding my dagger. Okay.
And you have advantage because James did something.
No.
that's on the
Advantage is it's only
Oh.
on the
Okay.
terrain.
So it's a 1d20 plus my strength modifier is
Yep.
to hit.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's a 4.
Okay, so you're a little distracted, to be fair. So Cassandra, as soon as she notices Jasmine kind of slipping back, she like reaches out wildly with a swing, trying to hit her in the face. Misses wide as Jasmine kind of ducks back, kind of turns around, and slinks away into the woods.
What a bitch.
Don't worry.
Wait,
I
is she,
remember
like,
to find
completely
her.
gone?
Well, I mean, she's like, are you trying to chase after her?
Yeah.
You're welcome to chase after her. You guys will be moving off map probably.
Okay.
But she's going to be using like all her movement and everything to like constantly keep moving. So unless you're like seriously going to give chase,
Well, I'm going to try.
okay. So we'll do this in 2 parts then. Cassandra, go ahead and move yourself a little that direction. And
Okay.
then, all right. So I'll let you do
Well,
that.
we
and
can
then-
do initiative. And
Yeah,
then,
So
yeah.
let me double check the initiative thingamajig.
Yeah,
Has it been? Oh, it's been cleared. Go roll. Roll.
Yeah, I'm pissed at her because she
18
tossed
for the
someone
both
out.
of us.
Like, that's rude.
That's weird for the clerics to go first.
God damn it.
The cleric shouldn't go first.
That's okay. Cassandra will go first, but she's also not going to be fighting the thing with you.
Yeah. Thanks, Cassandra.
It's not smart to run off by and she's already gone.
Yeah, and she's gone.
Yeah.
Never
So-
saw her. Oh.
Mariana. Well, hey
And-
guys, at least this time you guys have access to all your things and not just battle magic.
And we recharge on everything, so that's great.
That.
Although James just spent 2 of his different things at once.
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
I was so excited for command. I was like, this is gonna stop it.
Has everyone rolled? Cassandra, Oligaris, James, Kellen, John Baptiste, blah, blah, blah. All right, you guys remember what you guys have to do in order to like deactivate it, right? Professor Cresswell's still holding the key. So someone has to actually take it from her. She's not going to fight you if you're going to take it from
Well,
her, but someone has to actually take the
Can
key.
a non-staff member use the key?
Yes.
Okay.
I can try to stop it. I just need to charge up some battle.
Okay, so Cassandra,
Yeah.
you're first. What's going on? What are you trying to do?
Okay.
Aside from catch up to Jasmine, who's running away.
How far is she?
She is 30 feet ahead of you.
Just 30? Okay.
60, because she used her.
Because she
whatchamacallit.
dashed.
60.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna move my 30 feet. And then I will bonus action use my Misty Step to get my extra 30 feet. So now I'm like right next to her. Right?
Okay.
Hold on. I hate when I minimize this and then it like doesn't let me do things. Okay. Yeah, because then I can teleport. Okay.
So that's your movement bonus
Movement
action.
bonus
What's your
action.
action?
And then I will web her.
Okay, so she needs to make a.
She needs to make a dex save.
Okay,
DC
So-
13. Let me know. Does she pass?
Cassandra
Yeah.
runs after Jasmine.
Yes.
Like right on her heels. She moves 30 feet, Misty steps 30 feet, throws out her hands, trying to cast another web. A mass of sticky webbing covers over her, over Jasmine. But then Jasmine breaks through
Chrono
it
shift.
and moves further.
Chrono shift. If she passed, I want to chrono shift. Make her roll again.
Okay. So redo the last whatchamacallit.
She just has to do the dex save again.
Yeah. So she's gonna make it. And she breaks it again. And she runs off.
Can I do it again?
No, it's a
No.
reaction.
No. Oh, it's a reaction.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you can cast again and then use it again, but you can't use it back to back.
If you like to roll BMPs at this point, you may.
Okay.
Okay.
So get 5.
And would you like to prepare a battle magic spell?
Yeah, can you get back to me?
Yes. After whose turn would you like to cast it on?
What's her? Do I know like her initiative? I want to do it before she runs. You know.
Her is gonna be before yours.
Like right before mine. So then she broke my web, but didn't get further away. Then, right?
Yeah. So she broke your web, and she's turning to continue fleeing.
Okay. I will do something right before her turn.
Okay. So go ahead and think about yours.
Yeah.
All right, Garrett. Garrett's like, I have no idea what's going on, guys.
See that thing?
Yeah,
We need to
I'm-
cripple it so that
um,
we can get the key to turn it off.
Oh, okay. Professor said that we had to like try to tackle it, right?
If you want to
Okay,
do that,
guys.
go. I wouldn't
I'm-
recommend getting too close to it right now.
I think I can do it. I think I got
You got this, Garrett.
Go, Garrett. Save.
All right, so
Boy's
Garrett's
gonna
like
go
gearing
get
up to like tackle.
smashed.
I need to. It's a DC 18. I said Dex Athletics. Hold on. What do my fucking notes say? Wait, my turn order got fucked up. Hold on. So it wasn't Garrett's turn, guys. Would you like Garrett to go
God
before
damn it,
Alex?
Garrett.
I would like to go before Garrett, but that's just me.
You want to go before Garrett?
Because I have something that would at least help him.
Go on, Alex. Do the thing.
Well, I was going to do a thing that was going to get it to possibly stop moving.
Okay, so do your thing.
Okay, well, I would have liked to. Well, I would have had to do my turn in order for me to do Dryad's Embrace, which is a burden. So I could have, gotten.
So how come it's not? How come it keeps saying it's Cassandra's? Wait. Oh, I know why.
It's technically James's
Okay,
turn because somehow Garrett's order got all fucking.
Okay, I know what happened. I kept reorganizing. That's why it wasn't. Okay, so James, it is your turn. Unless you already went.
James will do BMP stuff.
Okay. Would you like to do an actual action on your turn?
We'll hold off on that first.
Okay, so you want to prep battle
Yes, we'll
magic?
do battle magic
Okay.
first and see if this
Who's
that blows. Big. Can I?
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, motherfucker. I forgot to roll initiative for this guy.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. James is going to do a burden.
Okay.
He's going to do Chimera's Madness, and he'll do. So he'll use all three for 2 for the affliction.
Hold on.
Okay.
1 second. Okay, go on. I was just double checking to make sure if there was something about like creature has to have an intelligence of X or whatever the fuck. But
He'll
go
do
on.
Goat Stupor.
Okay, so wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay, so Goop Stupor, he becomes feared.
Stunned.
Wait, goats. Oh, hold on. Okay, out of all the condition immunities, stunned is not one of them. So this thing can no longer move. For how many rounds are you doing this
Just
for? One?
That's all I can do.
Yep. Okay, so he cannot move for one round.
Then, as an action, James will run up and grapple, which
Okay.
he fails because stunned.
Okay.
And
So if there's a condition, like you have to make a DC 18, like does it?
He
How does that
auto
work?
succeeds.
he auto fails strength checks and dexterity saving throws.
Okay, so he is grappled.
Yes. And James will yell, "Grab the key and do what needs to be done."
Okay, so Alex, you are
Yep.
up.
Alex will run, get the key.
Okay.
Let's see, that uses a bit of my movement, and then I would like to use the rest of my movement to get over and do the check for the key, which is what kind of
DC 16 dex check.
Okay. And then I would also like to roll for BMP.
Okay,
6. Good. That gets me
so make me a dexterity
Yep.
check. DC 16.
DC 16 dexterity check. Not. Oh wait, it's with advantage. I do get advantage, but it's off by 1.
15. Okay. So not quite successful. You're having a hard time reaching over him because there's a lot of parts. Like, he's mechanical, so you're having a kind of hard time figuring out where that exact spot is on the back of the neck. All right. So next is Callan. Callan's gonna go over and try it out. Try to successfully do the thing. Okay, well, Callan is also not having much luck. All right, Garrett, let's see what you can do. Okay. Oh, Garrett just manages to do it. Like, his fingers fumble, he slips, but he manages to, like, get the key in. He kind of turns it. You hear a clicking sound, and then you hear, like, a whirring sound as it slows down and stops, like a machine powering down. And that's the only sound you've ever heard from this creature. And it stops moving. And I'll say that with that, we're out of initiative. Professor Cresswell walks over and says, well, y'all did mighty fine. You're going to be such good magicians one day.
Wait, what about
have sent word
Cassandra?
to the headmistress.
She's still fighting Jasmine.
One thing at a time. So, Professor Cresswell said that she has reached out to the headmistress. The headmistress is going to take care of this thing. Professor Cresswell puts her fingers together and does something, mutters something under her breath, and you see almost like a magical web forming over this creature, and it almost like locks it into place. So let's go to Cassandra and Jasmine. So Cassandra, as you see Jasmine moving in front of you, she turns to her heels and she flees. She's attempting to zigzag to throw you off her trail, so you're gonna need to
Wait,
you're gonna need to
battle
make
magic
like
thing.
some kind of
Yeah, I had a battle magic thing I wanted to do
that she was
before her
going to
turn.
do before her turn.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, we're out of initiative, but go ahead and try your thing.
Okay. So before she starts moving, then I wanted to try Damon's Croon. DC 15 whiz save where the target is paralyzed. And 1d6 psychic damage per BMP spent. So I'm just going to use all my BMP. So she needs to make a DC 15 whiz save.
Okay.
Let me know if she succeeds or not, because I have another chronal shift.
I like it.
Dive, bitch, die. Not die, but like, you know. Oh, so rude.
So
Yes.
she would succeed.
Okay, well then I will chrono shift, so please do it again.
Okay. She succeeds even better.
Ah, well, shoot.
So
What the fuck is her wisdom?
I know, right? Well, it's just 15. Oh, she
So,
takes damage.
okay, so how much damage?
So hold on, I mean,
She's also an older student.
yeah. So
Okay, how much damage is she taking?
takes 1d6 psychic damage per BMP, so she takes 5d6 psychic damage.
Ooh,
Okay. Roll 5d6.
Okay. I like that.
20.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So she flinches as you hit her with 20 points of psychic damage, but she turns, like, brushes her fingers against the tree and vanishes from your sight as far as you can tell. So, guys,
So annoyed. Okay.
That
Professor Crestwell has a serious look of like disapproval on her face as Peter finishes explaining what the fuck just happened with Jasmine. And she says, I would have never expected such a thing from such a fine student. She had so much potential. An artificing student trying to combine technology with nature, such promise. She really thinks she wasn't talented. Well, she will be disciplined for sure. Honestly, what a fool to think that you could tamper with the Centurion. That girl's lucky they didn't eat her. So, guys, you guys assume that Jasmine's going to be punished or hunted down in some way, shape, or form. You guys finish the rest of this overnight adventure, return to the school, and prepare for open house. And this is where we're going to leave off for this episode.
Okay.
So until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. For more information about the world of Arcadia Academy, please check out our website, Bookwyrms and Catdragons.com. That is book, W-Y-R-M-S, and Catdragons.com. Everything is spelled exactly how it sounds, except for worms, which is W-Y-R-M-S. And if you like what you're listening to so far, please consider supporting our Patreon. patreon.com/bookworms and catdragons. Patrons get exclusive access to the behind-the-scenes content that you won't find anywhere else, including a new patron shoutout, an invite to patron-only Discord channels, and depending on the tier, access to our Party Talk segments where we discuss sessions, opportunities to name NPCs, chances to submit a signature spell for the world, invitations to monthly Q&As with our team, and so much more. See you next time!
Some notes for the episode. As mentioned in the episode, there was a bit of a mix-up in the timeline. The field trip would have happened the following day after the announcement, allowing for the party to take a much-needed long rest before venturing into the forest. Regardless of the timeline mix-up, the party would still not have found much success, even if they had been able to successfully break into Alyssa's room, assuming that they managed to get past her personal protective wards without consequence. Any magician worth their salt, even a first-year magician, would have placed protective wards of some sort around their rooms, or gotten someone to do it for them. Older students would have tailored those wards to suit their purposes, and some clever and inventive students would have even added combat wards into their spells to respond to attempted or unauthorized breaches. The whole Centurion arc was a goof on Kelly's part. She absolutely forgot that a mechanical golem, personally tailored to the school's protective wards by master magicians, would have absolutely resulted in a TPK. So she and David had to scramble for a workaround that would employ minimal combat, but also render the golem useless for a bit. Kelly also totally forgot to actually conclude the arc by revealing what happened to the students who were attacked or went missing. Basically, the attacked students, including Alyssa, were recovering in the infirmary. The missing students were eventually found in a random pantry cupboard and hidden with illusion spells. So basically, this whole mess of an episode was absolutely Kelly's fault. Big oops. And as always, please, drink responsibly.